This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 566 for August 27th, 2018. Traps and tools kind of band.
No reds, all purples and greens.
Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Vampyr.
Hello there.
A quick announcement here at the beginning. A brand new episode of Old Dog New Flicks is available. Episode 6 is available for patrons at the $5 level or higher. Patreon.com/E1M1. The new episode is 1981's An American Werewolf in London. So go listen to that. If you're not a patron, episode 3... Ferris Bueller's Day Off is now available on your feed and, copyright claimed on YouTube. Like always, thanks to Universal Media Group. But both of those are available now. And if you're not a patron, you can join up right now and get all the back episodes in your feed right now.
No, I'll give it a week before I announce what the next movie is. I want people to listen and get the wonderful surprise at the end and all of the references I drop.
But that's all the news we have at the beginning, so let's jump into what you've been playing.
I'm going first this week?
Yeah, sure.
Not you this week, just me? Okay. So we'll take a break from the tradition and I'll go first. So let's start with this month's Game Club game, Ori and the Blind Forest.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I had Ori and the Blind Forest anyway, but I took a quick look into it because I know they touted a limited time deal where you could upgrade from the standard edition to the definitive edition.
Mm-hmm.
It's $5 to upgrade still.
I did that and I was like, it's only $5. Okay, let's do... Yep. Sadly, my saves don't carry over. It's like a brand new set of achievements, but that's fine.
Yep, I don't have a single problem with that, so I upgraded and got the definitive edition, uninstalled the original edition. Thank you for adding one, minusing one from my ever-growing game pile list. And started playing that. And, oh boy, I remember hearing about the beginning of this game.
That's a real up of an intro.
Yeah, they really upped themselves this time because it's such a nightmare. So yeah, there is the well-known beginning to that game at this point.
It's so well told, though.
Yes. The health of the game is beautiful. Let's get that out the way first and foremost.
I think they just upgraded it for 4K support, too. No, that's the new one. The new one, Will of the Wisps.
The new one, I believe, is HDR 4K. So, oh boy.
It's going to be too good looking.
Yes.
Excuse me.
So far, I'm... not going to talk too much about it. I'm just going to give brief things because this obviously is a Game Club game, so the majority of that will be in a show of its own. I have finished the first escape section.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow, you're moving.
Yes. It's a Metroidvania, dude. I got these things on lockdown at this point.
Yes. Well, they all have sort of the same, I don't want to say formula, but the same sort of skeleton to them, where it's like, I got a double jump. I can go over here where I remember I can do a double jump. Yeah,
it just depends on how they do the particular skills that are associated with it. Like, we all love Axiom Verge for the fire the drone out and then teleport to the drone's position trick.
So good.
Which is really good. I think the Y button thing in this game completely transforms the way these games get played.
Yep. And I think part of my happiness about Ori, and this comes when I'm playing another Metroidvania, is Ori, I feel like, isn't too big. Each area is pretty good size, but I never feel like it's never a chore to get from one end to the other.
Yeah, it's very much you can do this really kind of like I said, I'm up to the first chase and it seems like I've got basically 3 more parts of the Triforce essentially to collect before I can go and face the final boss or whatever. So it seems kind of short, and I'm fine with that because I know there's going to be a whole bunch of collecting at some point for me to go back and do.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ori, pretty good. Join in. It's if you've got the original, it's $5 for the definitive. Start the game again. Play along with us.
If not, I think it's only $20.
Yep, a definitive edition is 20, reduced to 5 if you do the upgrade.
Yeah.
Hashtag join the conversation on this month's Game Club.
There you go.
I love how I say that for an Xbox and PC exclusive.
Right.
Because, why not? So I approached my 400,000 gamer score.
You looked upon your kingdom.
Yes, I looked upon my kingdom of almost 500,000 of gamer score.
Right.
And then I realized I had a 1 at the end of my gamer score.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. And the 1 at the end of my gamer score was caused by a game which I truly adore. I genuinely love it, but it does the thing that is unforgivable in the heart of achievement hunters everywhere, which is if you play co-op, it does not unlock the same achievements for both people.
Oh, God, I hate that that's still a thing.
Way back when on the 360 for like Pro Evolution Soccer, like probably like 2011 or something like this, my father and I were both achievement hunters. We both loved playing the Pro Evolution games. We loaded it up, and I started unlocking achievements, and he started unlocking achievements, but we couldn't get the campaign progress because we were playing together. So we didn't get any single player achievements because we were playing co-op through a season.
Right.
Number one, why? Number two, what's the big deal? I literally emailed Konami support and be like, yo, is this a bug or is you designed it this way?
Right.
Their response was, we designed it that way. Our response was, we're going to stop playing Pro Evolution Soccer.
I like that they honestly told you, like, yeah, we did it that way. Is that a problem? It's like, yeah.
Yes.
I don't like it.
Because I don't understand what the big deal is with that kind of thing. But anyway, Overcooked does the exact same thing, which is to say, my wife and I played this together a long time ago.
Like you're supposed to.
Yep, like we're supposed to. I signed into my account on her Xbox, and we started the game together. We went through the whole game together, and we finished the game together with an occasional bit of assistance from Holly, friend of the show Holly, who visited town and referred to the character my wife plays as Meals on Wheels because he's a raccoon in a wheelchair.
Oh, that's so good.
Which I forgot about until my wife mentioned it to me while we were playing Overcooked. It was like, that's great.
Right, that's a great joke.
How did we forget that?
Yeah.
Apparently my wife didn't, because every time she plays Overcooked, it's what pops into her head.
Right.
So yeah, we played it over the course of like 6 months. We chipped away at it bit by bit, got 3 stars on every single level.
Oh, wow.
I did not get the achievements for completing the campaign or for getting 3 stars on every level. One of the first time you complete a level in that and get 3 stars, I think you get 1 achievement, 1 gamer score.
That's 3 insult to injury.
The 3 stars on every single level is 199 gamer score.
Oh, boy. Okay.
So yesterday, we've discussed this previous weeks. I've been in a bit of a kind of mood.
Yeah.
Where I don't know what I feel like playing. So I bounce backwards and forwards from game to game to game to game to game, put about 5 minutes in, then change my mind. I'm literally sitting there with my wife and I was like, do you want to just play Overcooked?
Yeah.
She's like, we've already beat Overcooked. I was like, no, you've already beaten Overcooked. I haven't.
Right. I have not received the credit.
So we started Overcooked. And we finished Overcooked.
Oh, wow.
In one sitting, 3 stars on every single level.
Wow.
In about 3 hours or so.
Next up on Awesome Games Done Quick.
No, I don't think so. I think we had to restart 3 levels, and the final boss twice was included in that 3. Like, as she so eloquently put it, we are cooking machines. Which, yeah, it's true. We were. We literally started the game and we smashed through the entire thing. That game is great. That game is fun. I did not expect us to basically destroy that game as quickly as we did.
That's satisfying, though.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got this. Oh, did we get 3 stars? Yes, we did. Oh, did we get
of course we did.
Yes, we did. And with that, I broke my 400k, and I go back to a 5-0 loop. So,
hey, congratulations.
perfectly happy with that outcome. Man. And I uninstalled another game from my console.
There you go.
Another one. Yes.
So now you can go buy 2 more.
Don't say that. And for the record, don't say I'm not the buyer of this relationship. It's somebody else. Love you, babe.
Just blame Game Pass.
Yeah, well, that is to blame for like 4 games I installed recently. So
yeah,
I'm still terrified of starting Graveyard Keeper because that's one of those games.
I actually recently got Game Pass because they had that $2 for 2 months deal, and I was like, okay, I cannot turn down that price. And Forza Horizon 4 is coming out.
Yep.
Which
I literally saw your Xbox list, and it's just like 4 games installed, and it's like
Vermintide, and this thing, and that other thing. And then, of course, my launch day Xbox One controller has started to suddenly disconnect from the console randomly. So I had to go buy another controller.
Yeah, but
they're so much better now. They're smaller. They have the 3.5mm jack. Like, they have the rubbery grips. Like, it's a much better experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm still so pleased I have an Elite. Literally at this point, I'm pretty sure my wife and I are just waiting for the Elite version 2 because her control's falling apart.
Yeah. But the rumors keep swirling about it that...
Yeah, and it makes you not want to buy a new Elite because the Elite version 2 surely is just around the corner. Surely.
And I feel like as soon as she buys one, the next day, Microsoft's like, brand new Elite 2 available now. Go to Best Buy and pick it up. And it's like, son, I swear to God.
Oh, yeah. Well, to give you an idea, her controller, the left bumper spring that pops it back into place, that's broken. So anytime she presses her left bumper, she's like, ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk. The grips on the back of it have completely peeled off, so she just took them off and now uses them as normal. There's so much drift on that thing, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It needs to be taken apart, but I ain't taking apart my wife's controller on the off chance I break it.
Yeah.
So
no, thank you.
I'm going to stay away from that and just patiently wait for the new Elite, and then we can open up matching boxes on Christmas, hopefully, where here's a present for you, here's a present for you.
Oh, you got me an Elite. You got me an Elite. Oh, true love.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Please release it before Christmas.
Right.
Please?
Please.
We need new controllers? I don't, but I need new controllers.
Yeah, I actually bought a PS4 and an Xbox One controller this week because both of them were in real bad shape.
Yeah. My PS4 one's not looking too bad, but then I've only played God of War, so hey.
Yeah.
Can't really break it if I don't use it a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm playing a game we're both playing, and we'll talk about here in a little bit, that requires me to use the up on the D-pad a lot. That has largely stopped working. That presents a problem.
I'm pretty sure that happened with my wife's as well, and I think I think it might be her left or right D-pad or something like that, which is a vital button on Siege.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Which is always hilarious and terrifying, sitting next to someone who's getting more and more furious at a controller / game.
Yeah.
Okay, Overcooked. So that's gone. We played Forza Horizon 3. We did a streaming test to see how this co-stream stuff works on Mixer.
Yeah.
So we jumped in, bit of messing around with the settings, because for those of you who don't know, and if you play in the same room as your significant other and you're in a party with your significant other and a third person, there is all kinds of mic echo going on. Because if I speak too loudly or Jess speaks too loudly and my mic catches her, it basically reverberates around like a sound system gone wrong.
Yeah, it's especially bad for the third person because like, what's happening?
Mm-hmm. And there was a whole bunch of high-pitched squeals and all this kind of stuff. We figured out that we can both jump into a party with each other, balance our headphones to purely game audio, so we can't hear the party chat. And it means that both of our streams are spitting out both of our audios at the same time when we unmute each other.
Gotcha.
So it worked out really, really nicely where we're just not hearing that constant squeal of echo.
Right.
So it's something we'll probably be looking at doing maybe further down the line. But we did play some Forza Horizon 3, specifically the Hot Wheels DLC.
Yeah.
AKA the, oh my word, Skyground barrel roll game.
Yes. Like the loop-to-loops in that thing are just insane.
Yeah. And pro tip, don't play that game in first-person mode. Like from the cockpit of the car.
Blah.
It's not even about the nausea, like because it's not too bad with the vertigo and the stuff like that. It's because as you're driving, if it's even a slight incline on the track, which Hot Wheels has a lot of inclines, all you can see is orange plastic through your wind. You can't see through the roof, so you can't see where the track is going to go. All you see is orange plastic the whole way.
That's a bummer.
Very difficult to drive, which is a bummer because the interior of those cars are insane.
Yeah.
When you have a giant skull on a spine going right through your cockpit of your car, it's just like, okay, there's a giant skeleton on the wheel, in the dead center of the wheel, there's a skull. It makes no sense, but it's a Hot Wheels car, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Hot Wheels DLC is insane. And they play it totally legit. Like, aren't we fun? We built plastic roads in the sky. We are hilarious.
Here's a giant T-Rex, and it's like, okay. Yeah, great.
They literally play it like they've just built this thing. And I actually had a discussion with Jess about this. It's like, okay, you could buy Australians doing that. Like, legitimately.
Yes. This checks out.
It's in Australia. You could see them saying, let's just go to New Zealand and build a bunch of this plastic track.
Yep.
And then I'll have races there. You can see them doing that. What are they going to do for Horizon 3? Tea and Crumpets DLC? Queuing DLC?
Oh, for 4?
Long, you know,
racing in the underground? I don't even know.
Come on, dude. It's England. We're boring.
Yeah.
Even I admit that we're boring.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. But Forza Horizon 3, that Hot Wheels DLC is appropriately insane for what it is.
Yeah.
Which is,
and it still drives well. Like, you sort of expect it to be this dumb thing where it's sort of uncontrollable, and it's like, no, this is actually still really fun to drive in. Yeah,
it does feel like they've increased the slippiness a little bit on the track.
Yeah.
Which, again, is understandable because they specifically say it's plastic tracks.
Yep.
So I think they have done it a little bit that way, but so far my favourite thing is the big horseshoe sections of the track.
Yeah.
Where you literally just drive up the side of the wall to propel yourself down even faster around the corner.
Yeah, like a half pipe almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's really fun, it's really dumb, and I need to hopefully beat this and give myself enough time between beating this game and Forza Horizon 4 coming out.
Yeah. When does 4 come out?
Not get burnt out. I think it's like November, so it's like a month away.
Okay.
Which is going to be a problem.
I'm gonna look it up so we can cry over the real release date. It comes out October 2nd.
Yikes. That's a month away.
All right.
Basically.
All right. Well, my $2 Game Club will cover for that.
Game Pass.
Game Pass, sorry. Not TVGP's Game Club.
And then on top, let's not get into this whole let's weep about all the games coming out soon.
No, that was last week.
I played I'm jumping in and out of Vampyr at the moment, which is a game which I'm hoping to have completed by the end of the year, because as far as I'm concerned, for me, this is probably going to hit my top 10.
I was just looking to see how much this is to pick up a copy. It's $40 right now on Amazon. That's a pretty good price.
Yeah, the patches they've done to it, they seem to have done a lot of good work with the combat fixes and the difficulty scaling and all this kind of stuff. But I just love the storytelling in this game so far. I love the fact that it's essentially, here is the situation you are in. You are a vampire. Go figure it out. Like they introduce lore and story and stuff in very small drips, which is pretty good. And everything else, it's like, go figure out, this is how you can level up. You can level up to be super duper powerful, or you can maintain your humanity and not do that. I understand why that choice might bother some people, and it has. But at the same time, this game is right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
It's a third-person action RPG game with, I will admit, very difficult combat mechanics that just speaks to me.
Yeah.
And it's one of those games that is gonna probably make my list. So I'm at this point where it's like, no, I need to get through it. I need to at least beat it the once. Something has already happened that I am very displeased about in the game, because you cannot save scum this game.
Okay.
You cannot do it. It auto-saves everything.
Yeah.
And the second you make a choice, that is your choice. Deal with it.
Nice.
So I made a choice which was a little deceptive in the description of it. Very Mass Effect 3 kind of, or Mass Effect 2 even,
right,
kind of moment. But I can't rewind time. I can't change it. I can't load a previous save. I'm just stuck with that decision. And that was displeasing, but still, I'm going to live with it and figure out what to go on from here.
Yeah, like figure out how to come back from it.
Mm-hmm. So I'm making my way through. It's still really, really, really good.
Yeah.
And it keeps giving me more people and more things to talk to and more ailments to heal, because you're a doctor, of course.
Vampire doctor.
Yes.
Oh, that's right, Dr. Acula.
Dr. Acula, thank you very much.
Yes.
But it's really good. Like, go support them. I mean, number one, it's a Don't Nod game, so they deserve your money. Even just based on the developer alone, they deserve your money. But as it was when it came out, if you like single player like games, support them.
And they've been sticking with it. They've been making huge changes over the last couple of weeks. So it's not like they just released it and they're like, well, I mean, if it's a little broken, like, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. So, fingers crossed, by the end of this game, it will maintain this high level. So far, still maintaining 2018's Alpha Protocol status for me. Yep. And the final game I played this week, you just say it. You already know what it is.
Dead Cells. God, I have such a problem with it. I cannot stop playing this game. Oh my god.
Dude, it's taken over my friends list. Like, it's literally everyone on my friends is like, oh, dude, this person's playing Dead Cells. 3 of your friends are playing Dead Cells. 6 of your friends are playing Dead Cells.
Same on PS4, where it's like 4 other people are playing Dead Cells. It's like, oh. I talked to the the guy with the giant parchment scroll outside of the daily to see how many runs I've done.
The statistician guy.
Yes. As of today, I've done 45.
Oh, dude, I don't think that even comes close to me. That means I've really got a problem.
Well, I have so much to talk about. I guess, for me, the easiest benchmark for how far you are in the game is, what's the last rune you've picked up?
The rune things that you absorb?
Yep. The permanent ones.
I got that one. I got the...
There's Vine, Teleport, Ram, and Spider. Those are the 4 in order.
Yes, I picked up Spider.
Okay. I just got that today. And... God. It changes the game so much in such an incredible way where I'm like... you guys made the game so much better now. Like, what the hell? I'm like 30 hours in, and now it's even more fun to play. How dare you?
So, did you, since getting all of the runes, have you unlocked the explosive crossbow blueprint yet?
No, I don't think so.
If you take the regular route, so the normal route without any runes abilities or anything
like that. Sure, like the Ramparts route.
Yes, if you take that route, the promenade or whatever it is, where it's the multiple routes part of that first section.
Oh, because now I can get up that tower. Right.
There we go.
And get that key.
I'm just going to leave that right there with you, and then you can figure out what to do from there.
So, like, part of what's so satisfying about games in the Metroidvania genre, and to me, Dead Cells isn't... It has more of its weight in the roguelike section more than it does in the Metroidvania. But when it does the Metroidvania stuff, it does it so well because you keep having those moments I just had where it's like, okay, now I can do this thing because I just picked up another one. And it's like, oh, wait, I just saw one of those. Wait, that leads me to another area. Wait, there's a whole new boss over here. Wait, there's a whole new area. And it's just like this snowball of like, I can do so much more now.
Yep. Okay, hello, Louise. Standing outside the door, meowing as loud as she can. I'm wondering if that came up.
But, like, now what's super cool is, like, now I know how to get the third key in that area to go get a blueprint that has been...
Oh, so you've already got the other 2 keys.
I found out how to get the other 2 keys, and, like, it's been tantalizingly out of reach. I'm like, I just need to get the third key. I can see it up here in this tower. I can't get up. How do I get up there? And now I know. But I've been so focused on taking the harder route through the game to get the spider rune.
Yep. I did the exact same thing. Yeah. I got the spider rune, and then I spent ages continuing to go back through that harder route and harder route and harder route, and it's like, let's go back to the old ones and then see where I can find there.
And just clean house.
Yep. And the best thing is, with the spider rune, you pose a legitimate shot at getting to those time doors so much quicker.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Because instead of having to jump on a little ledge, then do the animation, then jump to the next ledge, you literally jump into the wall, straight up through the first ledge onto the second ledge.
Right.
Your movement speed goes through the roof when you do that.
I've actually slowed down my runs considerably, because after pushing for those time doors, it's an achievement. I feel like it's a very satisfying achievement to get in there and get the rewards, but for me, more often than not, it's like maybe a scroll and a maybe some money, like maybe 2,000 at most.
And usually about 10 to 15 cells.
Yeah, and like 10 to 15 cells. But I can just get that by moving through the level slowly and clearing the whole level out, as opposed to doing that. And I feel like I'm having, at least at this point, I'm having stronger runs by having a half-hour run as opposed to having a 15-minute run and, you know, dying at the clock tower boss. So it's...
Yeah, you are 100% correct. I did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
As soon as I got the spider rune, I plowed through really quick and was struggling, and I slowed myself back down again, and it was great. I'm feeling better, feeling more powerful.
Yeah.
Quick piece of advice.
Mm-hmm.
There are some of those time doors that have a blueprint behind them.
Crap. Well, there's also, what I found the other day, there are also some of those time doors that have a teleporter right inside the door that you can just teleport into if you haven't unlocked the door.
Yep.
And those are real great. The other thing that I realized this week that I feel like is one of those fundamental roguelike things is that it is... I think especially coming from The Binding of Isaac, I think the thing that took me a while to realize about Dead Cells is it's not okay to be a generalist. Like, you don't want to keep your 3 stats even. That hurts you significantly.
Yeah. The big thing for me is I tend to be a generalist unless I get a piece of gear that truly speaks to me, like the spiked shoes, like the assassin's blade.
Right.
Like, if I get those combos, I will focus down in those areas. I think it helps to begin as a generalist, at least have it 3s in all of them. Mm-hmm. And then when you get something you love, or when you get something that you feel is working for you that run, then focus down into that kind of thing.
See, I always start by pumping as many points as I can. My main goal is to get to 15 points in purple, and then my second goal is put enough points into green where I have enough health, but the enemies don't have an incredible amount of health too.
Yeah.
And then I ignore red. Completely.
Completely?
It, to me, because what I favor is...
are you a traps and tools kind of man?
Yeah, I'm a traps and tools and a bow, sort of. Like, my favorite weapon in the game right now is the infantry bow, which does critical hits when you're in close proximity to an enemy.
Yep.
So if you combine that with decreasing the cooldown time for your traps and massively increasing your DPS when you're next to traps, I'm like 1 and 2 shot. I'm like tossing these things. 4 seconds later, the cooldown is over, and I'm just like one-shotting them with the bow, and I'm not using my primary weapon anymore. I use it mainly for stats.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, because like you can do like damage mitigation, or the ones I really like are sometimes I'll just swipe an enemy with it once if I have the effect on it where bleeding propagates to other enemies, then it's like the whole screen is just... God, Dead Cells is so good. Like, I'm at the point now where I was when Isaac first got its hooked in me. And I'm like, this is the game I'm playing. If I'm playing anything else, it's because I have a single, very short-term goal to do in it. I'm then closing that game and doing another run in Dead Cells. Like,
yep.
Have you gotten to the Forgotten Sepulchre yet?
Is that the white stage?
No, it's the darkness stage.
Is that the... Okay, so...
With the spider lady at the entrance?
Spider lady at the beginning, and
what
you have
a
the
nightmare.
I despise that level with all of my heart.
On my third run through it, I successfully got through it because I think I got lucky on teleport placements.
Yeah.
But God, that area and the high castle are easily my two least favorite areas right now.
The castle, because of the enemies that you throw up against, and it's hard to get used to them.
The spear guys, man.
Mm-hmm.
God, they're jerks.
It takes so long to get there that when you get wiped, like, really quickly in it because you don't know enemies' attack patterns, it's really frustrating because you know you've got a good 45-30 minute run to get back to that location again.
Can I tell you how I got wiped on the high castle this morning?
Go ahead.
I was 50 minutes into a run today. I was nearly unstoppable. I was fighting my second set of Malaise enemies to get the second key. Mm-hmm. It was those guys with the spikes on their back.
Yep, the turtles that you can't attack from behind.
They rolled into me from opposite ends, stunned me, and just basically air juggled me. Like... They both had nearly 0 health, and I had the teleporter next to the exit to go to the final boss. Like, I just needed to hit each one of them once, and they wiped me.
Yep.
I lost 75 cells. I was just like... And you know what I did? I started another run.
Yeah.
Because it's
exactly.
Dead Cells.
Yep. I did the exact same thing. I did do a little bit of research into the dailies because I've done 3 dailies in a row, and it keeps on saying you have got 4 more dailies to complete until you unlock your next reward.
Right.
Did a bit of looking into it. Mentioned this on Twitter to you. Don't bother. They're bugged right now, so you're not going to get any rewards.
Yeah, the console. The console version. Apparently, there's rewards for 1, 5, and 10 dailies completed, like what Isaac does for Afterbirth Plus. But yeah, they don't work in the console, and I'm bad at the dailies. Like I haven't. To me, it's so the opposite of how I played the main game.
Yep,
that time limit is what's getting me.
Yep, that's, to be honest, that's the thing that I'm actually enjoying about the dailies because it doesn't propagate the level with stuff that you've unlocked. It propagates it with choices from the entire game.
Yeah,
so. It lets you know if you jump in there a couple of times and do a couple of dailies, you might get to the point where you're playing with something like, I need to focus on this weapon the second I see that blueprint.
Right, this thing is super cool.
The worst thing is, the one that spoke to me was, I think it's called the Meat Cleaver or something like that.
Okay.
And it's the reward for doing 10 dailies.
Oh no.
So I can't get the weapon I really, really want because it's bugged. So I'm very, very annoyed right now. But that daily allowed me to play with a whole bunch of stuff that I don't even know how to unlock them, but I'm fine with that. I'll figure it out eventually. It is worth mentioning, the one time I picked up an item that I have not unlocked is actually, I think I might have shown you the clip of me having the frame skip. It was a weird lightning cloud that I was riding, and I don't know where I got it from.
That's awesome.
I'm excited to see where that thing is.
How far have you progressed into the blacksmith?
I am about 3 or 4 notches in right now.
Oh, God. I'm at 65%.
Oh, wow.
I just unlocked the second tier. Because a lot of times when I'm fighting, if I go through the normal tier, I can beat the concierge without breaking a sweat. So I'm like not spending any cells until I get to the blacksmith. So I'm dumping like 100 cells in him.
I've still got like 200-300 things to unlock in my normal list. Like, it's ridiculous. My blueprint list is huge right now with all the traps and the skills and everything.
Mine is still pretty low. I feel like I haven't unlocked...
have you unlocked the Hunter's Grenade?
Yeah, and I haven't picked it up, so I don't know how to use it.
Basically, the Hunter's Grenade, if you throw it at an enemy, it turns that enemy into an elite.
Okay.
Then it drops a different item on the ground which you have to pick up, which is like an extractor.
Okay.
And then when that elite enemy is below a certain amount of health, you need to use the extractor on the elite to drop a blueprint.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I have never successfully done it because every single time I try, the elite wipes me without hesitation.
It's one of those where, like, you almost have to have a frost bow to, like, lock it down and then...
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, that sounds. But what's really great about that is, if you just need like one last blueprint, then you can make that happen. As opposed to like, well, I guess I'll just keep on playing until it shows up.
Yep.
Oh my god. Yeah, Jimbo Jangles in chat says, "Man, so many different ways to play this game." Like that's one of the crazy things I love about it. Like, to me, one of the strengths is using the blacksmith's apprentice to re-roll the
plus and re-roll the
like all your what do they call it? Not modifiers, but
I think they are modifiers.
Attributes, maybe something like that on your weapons, like all the special effects. Like it feels great when you pick up one item where it's like, all right, this thing is going to do 100% more damage against bleeding enemies. It's like, okay, cool. That's the build I'm going to have for this. Now I'm going to try and re-roll all my items to either cause bleeding or do more bleeding damage. Once you get that together, it's like, all right, I'm doing 200% more bleeding damage, and I have one of those traps that causes bleeding, so I'm set for the rest of this run.
Yep. My favorite one of them was I think I had like a toxic grenade, like a toxic cloud that I could spew from myself that slowed everybody down when they were in it. But then I also had the spiked shoes, which is my favorite weapon because they do criticals if you are hitting somebody while they're attacking you. So as soon as they have the exclamation mark above their head, the spiked shoes does immediate 100% critical hits to anybody in the process of attacking you.
Wow.
And I had that rolled, so it did 200% damage to slow down enemies.
Whew.
So literally it was doing guaranteed criticals and 300% damage. It was amazing.
Wow.
It was so good. I still died.
Do you use shields a lot? I find myself passing on every single one of them.
I hate shields and I hate bows.
God, I love bows so much. I feel like the thing that made me love bows, the two ones, the infantry bow, that's the one that does crits when you're close to enemies. The other one is it's the quick bow, maybe. Once you put 2 arrows in an enemy,
it starts doing criticals.
Yeah, every one after that does crits, and it's ridiculously strong. But I feel like the real strength of shields is going to be learning how to parry, and I just don't have that down yet. And I'm disinterested in learning right now.
I experiment a little bit with the shields the second I get a legendary drop. The second you get a gold drop. If I'm on something where I can pass off one of my items.
Sure. Get one of those hot colorless items.
Yeah, I will split it out for a legendary one just because it's a legendary and there's a chance that one of the 5 like modifiers on it is going to be absolutely fine for me.
Yeah.
So I will do that kind of thing, but until then I'm not interested in shields. I want my spiked shoes, I want my frosty Hadouken thing,
right?
And I want my razor blade traps that go across the ground and little razor wheels like Super Meat Boy.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. My favorite are the crossbow-matic and the other one that spits out the shots that make enemies bleed.
Yes, I unlocked and then started playing with the crossbow-matic after Soulman was talking about it in Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really good.
It's really strong.
Uh-huh.
I want to go play more Dead Cells.
Me too.
It's been a while because I feel like I didn't really, when I was playing Enter the Gungeon, I feel like I had a lot of fun playing it, but I never felt this like pulling urge to go play. Like, you have 15 minutes, go play half of a run. You can just save your run, you can come back later.
that doesn't help.
No, that's the real danger.
Yeah, it's like, I got 10 minutes before I can go to bed. I'll play 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Then I'll save, and then I'll play it again tomorrow. Oh, wait, I did an hour and a half run, and it's 1 a.m.
Whoops. Let me just start another one.
Yep.
Oh, man. Is that all you played this week?
Yep, that's me all done and dusted.
I played just a touch more Destiny 2. I posted this on Twitter that I finally got the last... I wanted to focus on 2 goals. The big 2.0 patch is coming out on Tuesday, so I'm cleaning up all my inventory, making sure my post... Everyone who's playing Destiny 2, go clean out your postmaster before Tuesday. Please, baby Jesus. If you don't, you're going to lose stuff. I guarantee it. Because they're moving weapons into different weapon type categories. If they can't fit in your inventory, they go to your postmaster. If that's full, they get deleted. So,
oopsies.
Don't say no one told you. Cleaning up all that stuff, and I thought there's this one weapon in the game, the exotic sniper rifle, Whisper of the Worm, and you can only get it every weekend. So it's basically like Friday at 10 a.m. PST until it's like Monday at midnight. You have to go through a whole bunch of steps, and it's like a 20-minute quest. I got downstairs in the afternoon, and I was like, all right, I have a little bit of time. Let me see if someone on the Fireteam subreddit is helping people get this. Mm-hmm. I pulled it up, and someone 17 seconds ago had posted. And I was like, all right, here's my PSN. I'm on right now. Let's do this. So we get in, and... he said, do you want me to show you the jumping puzzle, or do you want me to just get the weapon for you? And I was like, well, I don't want you to get me the weapon, but like, if I'm having trouble with the jumping puzzle, like, feel free to just keep going and start clearing the enemies out at the end, because it is hard and we are timed.
Yes.
I get stuck in the jumping puzzle because I play as a warlock. Warlocks have trouble jumping. Sad to say, we had to be bad in one facet. We can't be great at everything.
Also, you've got a terrible name and your supers are terrible. But anyway, moving on.
Hey man, don't knock space magic.
Titans for life.
Yes. Punch bros for life. Man, it's so funny when I play a Titan, I can't stop punching things. It's so satisfying.
Yes, it is.
So, the 20-minute quest, he and the other person that's with us make it to the end, and they're like clearing out the bosses. Within, I think we had like 7 minutes left, he had basically soloed the whole thing.
Okay.
He's like, here's your gun, enjoy. And I was like, awesome, thank you so much. Man, does that thing look super cool.
Yeah, let's talk about that really quick.
Yeah.
You posted a photo of it on Twitter. It's like, okay, so they might not have the gameplay loop down. They might not understand how people operate. They sure know how to do left trigger, right trigger, really satisfying shooting over there at Bungie. But their weapon design team is on point because that thing looks cool.
And the thing that I wish I could show you is when it animates, it looks like the Taken. So there's that like smokiness coming off of it. And it looks like it's alive, like on the barrel. Like it's sparkling and moving. God, it looks so cool.
What's this thing called again?
Whisper of the Worm.
Oh, sponsored by Darude.
It makes what's crazy is the lore tab on that weapon is really good, and it's like really important to this overall story of Destiny. And also it's the only weapon in the game that the impact on the weapon is over 100, so it's literally off the charts for how strong it is.
Oh, okay.
That's so good. And they bring back, famously in Destiny 1, the Black Hammer was a legendary sniper rifle that when you hit 3 headshots in a row, it refills your magazine from out of nowhere, not from your reserves. This thing does that too. So,
that's kind of cool.
Not only is it super, super, super strong, but if you can get a boss or you can that doesn't move or get your shooting down right, it's nearly unstoppable. And it's getting nerfed in on Tuesday, so like it's not that big of a deal. But it's a little too strong when you masterwork it. They're nerfing it in a way where you look at it and you go, yeah, that's fair. I get it. It's a little too good.
Well, yeah, when stuff like that, it's the new DLC though, isn't it? So,
yep.
Of course it's going to get nerfed. It's going to be like 50 points below the game.
They're doing a good job at making sure that a lot of stuff from year one is still going to be viable in year two. There are guns from year one that are still going to be good in year two just because of how they're built, like Whisper of the Worm. That's still going to be good. But it's not going to have like the number of mod slots that the new guns will. It won't have the random rolls. So like at some point you'll probably find a weapon like that is going to beat it just because of the random rolls will make it perfect for you as opposed to just a good overall weapon, which I'm really excited about because I like some modifiers on guns that people don't usually. So it's nice to have like this gun is really great, and it's like, yeah, but that's not how I like to play PvP. I'm excited for that. Hollow Knight. I've been playing a lot of this, which makes it hard to play Ori and the Blind Forest.
Yeah.
Because like between this, Dead Cells, and Ori, like that's a lot of Metroidvania all at once.
Yes, it is.
Man, Hollow Knight is hard. Like, we were talking a little bit about a boss that I'm stuck on right now, and a big shout out to Mental Case from the community, because they had just finished it, I believe, and maybe one or two of the DLC packs. The game just got a huge patch this week, and it's like 30-something% off because the last free piece of DLC came out. So now the game was like 107%, and now you can get to like 112%, which tickles me.
Oh, they're going the Isaac route.
Yeah, like it tickles me a lot. But I just got two really cool skills. One of them is called Crystal Heart, which I won't spoil because we'll talk about Hollow Knight more in the news stories. But it's one of those things where you see... I can talk a little bit about it. There'll be these parts where you come up to like a platform, and there's just a yawning chasm in front of you, and you might like jump off of it and like like the first move you really get is a dash move. You can dash, and you still can't see the end of it. It's like I don't have any skill or anything that would let me come close to doing this, and there's no enemies that I can pogo off of, so I don't really know what I'm supposed to do here. Hold on, let me just time someone out here because they're being a bad actor. You can chill for 5 minutes. And then what's so funny is as soon as I pick up that item, I'm like, oh, I know 3 places that I couldn't get to before that I put a pin on the map. Now I got to go back to all those places and see what all the cool stuff is. Like one will open up a whole new area. One will get me a health upgrade. One will get me a new like equipable skill. So it's like we were talking about with Dead Cells. As soon as you get one of those items, you can... Hollow Knight is so crazy because as soon as you get one of those items, you're like, oh, okay, cool, I know exactly where to use that. And when you use that, 2 or 3 areas, like giant areas on the map open up. And you're like,
yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought this game was big, but now it has literally doubled in size. And it's easily the biggest Metroidvania map I've ever played. It's massively huge. And
Axiom Verge surprised me with how big that was.
This is bigger. And I haven't unlocked everything, and it's bigger. Like, and I think it's a hard balancing act because part of my frustration about this is there are fast travel points. Thankfully, it's not like Axiom Verge where it's like, here's the middle. That's your fast travel.
Yeah.
There are... It's cool because the fast travel system is this really old stag beetle with like this big white beard who's grumbly. You ride on his back between areas. But with the map being so big, there are some times where I'm like, okay, I got this new skill, and I can see, I remember putting a pin on the map all the way down at the bottom, but there's nowhere close I've unlocked yet, so I have to go here and then go like up and around and down and take this, like sometimes I think because I'm getting pretty late in the game, traversing from one area to another is becoming a lengthier process. But the other side of that is, because I have these new skills, there's a lot of times where I'm like, oh, now I can get up there. Okay, cool. I get up there and I go through like a little platforming section, and at the end I get a new relic. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So,
yeah,
I didn't like quote unquote waste time by going there, but between that and having to save at like the benches all over the place, playing Ori and the Blind Forest, it's like, oh right, you can just make a save point wherever you want. That's awesome. Like,
yep.
But I'm playing it on the Switch, so I can just pause it and put the Switch to sleep. So it's not like I'm really losing anything. But God, Hollow Knight is an unreal, incredible Metroidvania experience. Like, this is, to me, it reminds me a lot of playing Symphony of the Night for the first time, where I'm going into Hollow Knight incredibly blind. Like, I've seen screenshots and we've all seen trailers and stuff, so I knew what the game looked like, but being able to go into a game... I'm doing the same thing with Dead Cells, where I'm really not looking anything up. Being able to go into a game like this and just keep discovering and discovering stuff, it's so good. And I feel like we don't get that a lot anymore.
Oh no, like it's part of the problem with today's media cycle that they have you do, is everything is announced 2 years before it comes out, and then you get the insane, here is basically everything about this game between now and release. You already know everything there is to know. And
like, as soon as it comes out, like Twitter, someone spoils, we're like, look at the final boss of Hollow Knight, and it's like, oh cool. Like, you blew through that game in 24 straight hours and spoiled it for everyone that didn't get it as a review copy, like...
Yep, we talked about it on our God of War spoiler cast, like how I made it 4 months without the end of that game being spoiled is amazing.
That's what I was about to bring up, is like, between that and Dead Cells and Hollow Knight, it's been a really great experience being able to just experience a game. Like, I'm sure Dead Cells, I'm unlocking blueprints that are just garbage. I don't know. Like, that's part of the fun, is like, I get to use it for the first time and I go, oh, I should have not unlocked that. That's in my pool now. I've made a mistake. But that's the sort of stuff I want to experience. Like Hollow Knight, for a long time, I just forgot to go down this one corridor that I had marked on my map for like 5 hours, and I go down there, there's a whole 3 other areas. It's like, oh, I should have done that way earlier. Okay. But that, to me, that's part of the fun, is sort of making these mistakes and sort of going like, oh, that was, all right, I did that. Whoops.
Yeah.
But Hollow Knight is really good. I if you like Metroidvanias and you don't mind a challenging experience, so far I don't feel like it's been unfairly difficult, especially with the different skills you can equip.
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing here because literally while we're talking about like Metroidvanias and skills unlocking stuff, I spent about 20 minutes in Ori banging my head against an area trying to figure out how to get into it, and it's just clicked with me how I'm going to open those areas.
Metroidvanias.
Yes.
But like, I think that if you're looking for... People are too ready to say that this is a Metroidvania with Dark Souls influences, and I vehemently disagree with that. The only thing that it does is you do a corpse run when you die. If you go back and kill your resurrected corpse, a lot like the Mummy Demastered, then you get all the money that you had on that corpse back. And to me, other than that, it's just a hard Metroidvania. Like, it's not an easy game. You're going to fight a boss, and it's probably going to kill you about 5 or 6 times until you get the pattern down. And I think that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're not looking for that, and then don't play Hollow Knight. I don't know if there are even difficulty settings. I don't remember. But yeah, Hollow Knight's really great, and I feel like I am nearing the end, but in a Metroidvania that just means I haven't found all of the upgrades and stuff that I can yet, so
yeah.
I probably have like 10 more hours before I can fight the final boss, so.
I was going to say, it means you're nearing the exploration stage.
Yeah, like, you keep expanding and expanding for so long, and then you go back and you like, on a whim, you just explore the very first area, and you're like, oh, I can get up there. Oh, it's a health upgrade. Oh, I can get over there. Oh, it's a consumable. You're like, oh, there's just a buttload of money over here. That's...
Yep.
I love Metroidvanias. They're so good. I talked about Ori and the Blind Forest. I played a little bit No Man's Sky, but nothing notable there. I bought Yoku's Island Express on Switch because it was like $10. I played probably about 10 minutes. That game is super cute, and the pinball controls really, really, really well, and I really want to play a lot more of that. But Dead Cells is out, so,
And Hollow Knight is out, and...
Yeah. And on Ubisoft's Switch digital sale, I picked up a half-price copy of Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Because it was finally on sale for anything less than $60, Nintendo. And like everyone said, it is Mario XCOM. I mean, that's what it is. It has a really great tutorial, which thankfully assumes you've never played an XCOM game before. But then, really early on, they introduced two things that I really like. One is when you run your character through an enemy tile, your character hits them as they're passing the enemy. So you get a little bit of free damage. And then, and you can do this on the same turn too if you plan it right, you can then go behind cover and shoot that enemy again, or you can go land on an ally's tile and then throw them, like, to the other side of the map. And that stuff feels really good.
You know what that reminds me of with throwing people to the other side of the map? Disgaea.
Yes, it feels a lot like Disgaea without, like, the infinitely repeating counters, which is sort of a bummer. But yeah, so far this seems great. I'm surprised at how much story there is. Especially featuring the Rabbids, which I am not the world's largest Rabbids fan. Like, I don't hate them. I can mostly sort of ignore them, but they're kind of fun being in your team dressed up as Princess Peach and Luigi, and they just called them Luigi Rabbid. Like, they're not even pretending that this is Luigi at all.
Dude, them rabbits have got some lore. They were the minions before minions.
That's true. Yeah. So I haven't played too much of that. So far it seems great. It's really clear on the map where battles are, and in between battles, there's usually a little exploration section where you guys are walking around, solving a little puzzle to open up treasure chests and stuff like that. And so far it's good. Like, it looks great, runs really well, it controls super well, but like, I'm playing Hollow Knight and Octopath Traveler, and Dead Cells is taking up 90% of my brain, so I keep pushing this down the list more and more. Sorry, other good games. Dead Cells is really good. But that's all I've been playing this week, so let's take a break. Let's talk about releases for the week of August 27th, 2018. Blade Strangers comes out on PC, Switch, and PS4. This is Nicholas's fighting game, where Isaac of the Binding of is in there. So that in and of itself is sort of fun, but
don't buy it. Do not support that.
You know how we feel
anymore.
about Nicholas.
Yes.
Help us make you better, Nicholas. Hire Moon and I as your social media managers.
Yes.
Yeah. The game I am desperately excited for, Donut County, comes out on PC, OS X, PS4, and iOS.
Is this the one where you control a hole?
Yes.
Okay.
It looks so good. It looks so good.
Run down those releases for me again.
Donut County?
It's not on my platform of choice, is it?
Oh, PC, OS X, PS4, and iOS. Yeah.
So no, it isn't on my platform of choice.
Yeah, unfortunately. But I think did Sony Santa Monica publish this? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. But I'm looking forward to it because it seems to have the spirit of Katamari, and that makes me excited. I
really want this game.
Yeah.
Just even if I only play for an hour, it just looks so dumb and fun and stupid.
Yep. Listen next week, and I'll tell you more about it. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate comes out on the Switch. Remember, this doesn't have a lot of the quality of life stuff that Monster Hunter World has, but it's the...
Correction. It doesn't have any of the quality of life.
But it is the definitive version of Monster Hunter XX.
Yes.
So, which didn't come out over here. So if you like the old style of Monster Hunter, that's now on Switch. If you like the new style, that's out now on PC. On PC. Yeah.
Yep.
And it runs fine. Pro Evolution Soccer 2019 comes out on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. You know if you're gonna get that or not.
Yeah, you do. And the answer to that is nobody is, because somehow Konami are still making video games.
Yeah. The one video game they make.
They released Metal Gear Survive. I think they're just taking pieces and parts, putting them together and saying, there's a game.
That's Konami. Yakuza Kiwami 2 comes out on PS4. I haven't even finished 6, and 2 apparently is the best in the series in a lot of people's minds. So
there's another series that I need to play.
Yeah, God. Hey, do you have another 40 hours?
Nope.
I was going to say, let me guess the answer. A game that Moon and I have been anxiously anticipating. 2 Point Hospital comes out on PC, OS X, and Linux. I'm so for anyone that maybe hasn't heard about this, this is the not even spiritual successor, but the sequel, like the genuine, legitimate sequel to Theme Hospital that Bullfrog put out in 95, 94? Something.
I don't even know, dude. I was a child.
Yeah, let's say 20 years ago.
Minimum.
Bullfrog put out an incredible hospital, quote-unquote, management sim. And these developers that are making 2 Point Hospital are basically most of the team from Bullfrog that made the game, and they're just making a new one. With most of it staying intact. And
1997.
I'm old. Man, what a great game. Oh,
yeah,
so good. Freedom Planet comes out on the Switch. This has seemed to come out on nearly everything, and
Why do I know that name?
It's an indie developer made basically a love letter to Sonic, and then it as a game it got really big.
Okay,
it's supposed to be pretty fun, but I've never had the time to check it out. But now that's on Switch. Who knows? And last but not least, Divinity Original Sin 2 comes out on PS4 and Xbox One.
Nope, I don't need isometric RPGs.
Yeah, I'm like closing my ears. La 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 la. Like, and especially now because both of them are co-op. I'm just like I can't.
No, don't say that.
I can't rope another person, and we can't do it.
We have Wasteland. I have Wasteland 2 downstairs that I haven't even started yet.
I do too. I have Wasteland 2 on PS4, and I'm like, this will be so good to play. I'm never going to play it. When am I going to be able to play that? Dead Cells came out.
Spider-Man comes out in like 2 weeks, dude.
Oh god, that's one game this year I can't buy day and date. I can't do it.
Well, I will.
Yeah,
I shouldn't, but I will.
Yeah, boy, if only Sony had something like Game Pass. That'd be great. John Musim in chat says, wonderful split-screen co-op. I'm also going to time out someone else here in chat, because I'm tired of getting this question. All right, let's move into news stories, because we have a lot to talk about this week, and I've already cut like 3 or 4 news stories. This... I feel like this is the dumbest news story we're probably going to report on this week, because knee-jerk reaction is, yeah, of course, but sadly it isn't. All of Diablo 3 is going to be on the cart when you buy it on Switch. That's the news story. It sucks that this doesn't happen. I'm looking at you, Capcom.
Yep.
But I want to give credit where credit is due, that, Bungie doesn't have, the base game is here, and then just download a 45 gig patch. It's like, yeah, that doesn't fit on my console, because I don't have the money to buy an SD card. So, because those are, thankfully, unlike the Vita, Nintendo just went with a standard format. But
yeah, and they are cheaper.
Yes,
when you look at where they used to be, but for the size you need for today's games, still not cheap enough.
Yeah, like a 256 gig is like probably going to be your sweet spot, but even on sale, it's like it's only on $150. It's like, oh god, ooh.
Which you can literally spend that $150 and get a 2 terabyte external,
or like me, 2 controllers.
Yeah.
Speaking of Microsoft and Game Pass, Microsoft is now gonna, for the second time, gonna try console subsidized plans. So for those that might remember, they tried this with the 360, and I feel like it did really well, but got 0 press coverage after it happened.
No.
So I think
because it was purely experimental at that stage.
Yeah, and I
feel like that was their attempt to dip their toes in the water.
And I think people assumed it failed just because they just heard about it the one time and then never again. It's like, no, they're just buying consoles. Like, so their new plan for $22 a month will get you an Xbox One S, Xbox Live Gold, and Game Pass. And then you pay that over 2 years, I believe it is.
I believe so, yes.
For $35 a month, you get an Xbox One X and Live and Game Pass. That's a really good price.
Yep, 100% it is.
And I think, especially with the X, like for me right now, if that was my primary console, I have a day one 2013 Xbox One, so either one of those would be an upgrade for me. But the Xbox One X for $35 a month, I think that's easily affordable, as opposed to $500. It's not $400, right?
No, it's $500 for the X.
Oh boy, okay. So $500 plus the near requirement for Live, and then the strong selling point of Game Pass. That's kind of a lot of money to drop right away. But $35 a month is pretty reasonable, and when you run the math over that period of time, you're actually not spending more than if you were to just buy it now and pay for Live and Game Pass for the 2 years. So it's not like, the console works out to be $1,500. They're really raking you over the coals. It's a fair price for you getting into a really, really powerful console, and you getting Game Pass for 2 years. So at that point, you for the most part, you probably don't need to buy a lot of games in the short term.
Nope, you really don't. I think this is it's not my style, it's not the way I prefer to pay for things, It's not my preferred methodology of doing it, but at the end of the day, this makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Like, the simple fact that it's I think what is like a very small increase in price over the whole thing.
Yeah.
it's not one of those deals where it's like, oh, you're paying twice as much or you're paying even half as much again.
Exactly.
Like, this isn't a $750 thing. This is, now it's $700, now it's like, $525.
Yeah.
Not $750 instead.
Right.
So
not like $1,000 for an Xbox One X. It's just like, ugh.
It works out really well. And, if they can use that to... I hate to say it, but they need to do it. If they can use that to increase their market share.
Sure.
And with all of the bad press that other companies are getting right now, or recently, I should say.
Right.
Every
little bit helps, especially for getting more people, because if you still have a 360 and you just can't afford to drop $500 on a console, this is such a great way to get into the console and get, what is it, 125 games on Game Pass right now?
All I know is it's 100 plus, because that's all it says.
Yeah,
it says 100 plus.
Yeah, it's definitely over 100 games, and you have backwards compatibility, and you have all this other benefit, and it's a Blu-ray player. Like, you have all these benefits.
And it's a UHD player.
Ah, that's right. Yeah, that's true. So, like,
something Sony didn't do for some reason.
Yeah, that's still baffling. So for $35 a month, you can get on the current gen. I think that's great. I would love to see Microsoft do this at the launch of the next console. Because I think if you really want to improve your market share, you do that day one and you say, just buy to own right away. Here's the hopefully no more than $500, or here's our 2-year subsidy plan.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I could see them doing that, especially with a split generation. Like, the way these generations are going right now, they've got to be looking at digital stuff, and specifically this with Game Pass is a prime thing for the next generation to be like, this thing doesn't have a disc tray in it.
Yeah.
This is the Xbox box with just a hard drive, the Ethernet cable,
give you
USB
the controller,
ports, no discs, no nothing. Go.
Well, that's how the rumors are working out right now, where the rumor is that they're making 2 consoles at once, where the one console is a traditional Xbox experience like we know today, and the other one's a Game Pass box, which is great. I mean, if you can offer that for half the price of a console and just say, all right, there's no disc, but any of the downloadable first-party games we have, that's a steal.
And you can still buy from the store digitally as well. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The only downside for that box comes the trying to explain to the parents and the grandparents that you don't get the disc, you want the code.
Right. Yeah. Like you don't get it. That will be hard. Just to say, like, look, you don't. You can't go to Walmart and buy new discs. Like, but here, this piece of paper we can sell you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's tough. Next news story here: Valve. Well, I wonder if they're actually different companies now. Anyway, Valve has announced that they are improving and expanding Valve's Steam Play. And what they're doing now is they're extending Linux support to play more Windows games semi-natively in Linux. So what they're doing is let me pull up the name here so I can remember it, Proton, which is sort of an open source extension of the graphics interface Vulkan. And basically what it does, Valve has been working on it in the open source world for about a year. Basically, it's a lot like Wine, which Wine runs Windows apps in Linux, but it's sort of slow, and it's sort of, you can run Photoshop, but it's not, exactly what you would want to have happen.
Yeah.
But this apparently behaves a lot better because it works, closer to the OS, and they've announced 27 games that are going to run on here, and some of them are like some of them are like Fallout Shelter and Final Fantasy VI, but they also have like Doom 2016 and Beat Saber. Like they have VR support in it too. Doki Doki Literature Club, if you want to play that.
Break your heart.
Yeah, we did a spoiler cast about that and bum yourself out for a little while. Like Star Wars Battlefront 2, like they have modern games. It's not just like they have Doom Ultimate on the list, which like okay, like you should be able to run that in 2018, sure.
I mean, good on them for doing it. Where's the big team of people they've got moderating their communities?
Yeah, like it's a bummer because like the rest of Steam is sort of on fire, and then they do something good like this, and everyone's like, yeah.
I don't get me wrong. I've got no issues with Linux and Unix people. I'm not a big fan of the Mac OS. I've always been a Windows boy.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, you'll get your Steam store is chock full of poop.
Yes.
Because you cannot moderate it because you refuse to. Your community is toxic as all kinds of problems.
Yeah.
Because you choose not to moderate it. You should be setting the standards.
Yeah.
Instead, you are just opening the floodgates.
Well, and we haven't even talked about it on the show, but they're moderating the wrong things. Like, basically, in an attempt to block cheap porn games from being on the service, they're blocking all visual novels from coming on Steam. It's like, those are different experiences, and if you don't have the guidelines around it, people are going to game the system like they're doing now. So,
and then that's impacting people whose basically careers it is to produce visual novels. No harm, no foul. And because they're too lazy to get off their butts and do stuff about it, they just want to play with their knives all day.
Yep, play Dota 2 all day.
Yeah.
Sorry, Artifact.
Okay, moving on.
Next news story, Assassin's Creed is going to be taking a break after Odyssey.
But for the best reason ever, and I love the fact that they've announced this now.
They said, quote, "It's just because the team were working separately, so we have 2 games now, one year after another, but our next year you're not going to have a fully fledged one," end quote. They're also saying they want to give a lot more content in Odyssey for a couple of years, as opposed to just dumping out a new $60 title every year.
Give me 2 years worth of DLC and I will be pleased as punch.
I'll be super happy to buy another Assassin's Creed game in 2 years. I would be less happy to buy one every year. I might still, depending on how good it is. Like, I really liked Origins. It seems like popular consensus has now flipped back on Origins, where it's like, no, like, that game was always bad. And it's like, oh, okay.
No, that game is incredible.
Yeah, that game was really good. Like, stop being an edgelord and let's chill out for a minute. But the stuff they show on Odyssey is sort of like, oh, yeah, like, cool. You make an Assassin's Creed game that has dialogue trees and decisions and get to play as a lady. Like, you're checking a lot of my boxes here. I'll happily buy that when it comes out. God, who knows when? I don't even know.
In like 2 months, dude. 2 months.
Is it on Game Pass?
No.
I feel like that's the new, is it coming out on Switch? Switch when? Game Pass when?
Is it on Ubisoft Club?
Switch when kills me. Like, that kills me so much. Especially for indie devs. There's like an indie dev I follow on Twitter. They're making that Tunic game. And like, as soon as they showed that big trailer, everyone's like, cool, is that coming out on the Switch? And they're like, it's 2 of us. We literally cannot do that yet.
It's 2 of us, and we are showing it exclusively on a Microsoft stage at a press conference.
Can you guess what the answer would be?
TBD.
Yeah, maybe later. Speaking of really great DLC, Hitman 2 will feature the entirety of the first game as DLC.
Yep. Because why not?
Here's an even better silver lining. 2 really great pieces about this. One is they're upgrading the maps to, number one, they'll look better level density. They're also going to sort of change them around to take advantage of some of the stuff that's in Hitman 2, like hiding in bushes, his briefcase he's carrying around. Also, if you own the first Hitman, you get this legacy pack for free.
Yep. Whoop.
That's... all of that is the right thing to do.
Yep.
Like,
full credit to them for, number one, making a Hitman game that worked with the last one.
Yep.
I don't know how they did it, but they did it. My biggest concern with this is the fact that it's the full game at once. And I get it, they kind of had to do it because they signed the deal with, I believe it's Warner Brothers.
I think so,
I do think that the Hitman game needs more episodic content. I think it handles that better because then that lets you get real deep dive into an individual level and figure out every single path and exploration and all the options and
do all the objectives.
That's where you see the crazy videos come from with piles of dead bodies at the bottom of the stairs and just like,
and then you push a toilet on them and it's just like, this is great, Hitman.
Yeah. A toilet which then also has C4 in the bodies that you blow up the C4 at the exact same time, so bodies fly everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, to me, I didn't play the first Hitman because I just... there was never a great time for me to pick it up and dive in.
Yeah.
But I'm not disappointed, but I'm a little bit bummed that they can't do episodic. Like you said, totally understand from a contractual and like from a business standpoint, maybe Warner Brothers doesn't want to take that level of risk that Square Enix was happy to. But from an exploration standpoint, it's sort of a bummer that people that are picking up Hitman 2 kind of are going to get the full thing in one go.
I'm hoping that people use the Hitman 1 experience to bring that forwards into Hitman 2 and kind of tease it out themselves.
Yeah.
Where it becomes a case of, no, I'm going to take this bit by bit and actually explore each level.
Yeah, I'm only going to play Sapienza for this month.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, it has an F1 track. I can't wait.
It looks so good. And last but not least, Hollow Knight is coming to PS4 and Xbox One in spring of 2019. The physical version is also coming out on Switch at the same time. I cannot recommend this enough, and having it on I like playing it on my Switch Pro controller, so I can only imagine how great it will feel playing it on PS4 and Xbox One controllers.
I literally almost said on an actual controller.
The Joy-Con controllers are not great. For platformers like this, it's not optimal.
True, but you specifically said the Pro Controller, which I still almost waved that down as not a real controller.
Yeah, Pro Controller's really good. Man, that battery life is crazy. I don't know how Nintendo does it.
Crazy good or crazy bad?
Crazy good. It's like, you know, when you had that first DS, and it lasted for weeks, and you're playing it actively, and you're like, did the light burn out and it's just gonna die on me any minute? It's like, no, I'm still trucking, man.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, go if you like what I'm talking about with Hollow Knight, go write down a note. Spring 2019, I'm gonna go buy that thing.
Yep.
Because I will be buying it again and playing through it again. That's how excited I am.
I'm debating trying to pick it up on PC before the end of the year and seeing if I can get it squished into that already jam-packed calendar year.
I will be honest with you, I think by the time I finish it, I'll have played it for 25 hours. So probably not.
So Dead Cells is about another 2,000 hours between now and the end of the year.
Right.
Spider-Man's going to be at least minimum 30, 40-ish.
Probably, yeah.
God of War, I've still got probably about 10 in that.
The thing is, since Hollow Knight is going to be released for the first time on a new platform next year,
I could get away with it.
You could put it on 2019's Game of the Year. I can put it on 2018's. You can put it on 2019. You can win 2 years in a row.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And then you'll get to fully savor the insect experience. That's my prog rock band title, by the way.
Literally, I've not seen a frame of this game, so that sounds really crazy to me.
It's a lot of bugs, but they're like very cutely drawn. It's such a cool looking game. All right, let's move on to questions. T-Bomb Rocks in Discord says, when information that Xbox is coming out in the program... Oh, so you're talking about the program we talked about a little bit ago. the subsidy program. My first question is, do you think this will be successful, and will either Nintendo or Sony follow suit?
No.
Your wife in chat says, ugh, ants? I don't think there are any ants in the game. Oddly. I feel like Nintendo would never do this unless it was over somebody's dead body. I feel like this is just so antithetic to how they want to run the Switch in general.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Nintendo would do it, and even if Microsoft made this a success, I don't think Sony would, just to prove a point that they don't have to copy off Microsoft, because Sony, you've produced some quality games, and quality hardware throughout the time.
Yeah.
But let's face it, everything that's good about Sony these days, they kind of took from Microsoft.
Oh, totally. Like, I think that's the best thing about this gen is, like, both consoles are taking, like, UI improvements from each other and controller improvements, and, like, that's exactly how I want it. Like, that's what competition should breed. But I think on the Sony side, they can't offer total parity because, all right, you can pay for the console, you can pay for Xbox Live and Plus, but what are you going to have people for Game Pass do? PlayStation Now, which doesn't really work, and they don't have a Game Pass equivalent, unfortunately.
No.
So, like, to me, the parity isn't there, because when you look at the Xbox One, getting Game Pass is such a huge get, especially for someone who doesn't have a console already. Like, you have the 100+ games in your library already. You just download them.
Yeah.
But otherwise, from Sony, you sort of have that big gap there, because sure, you get free games with Plus every month, but that's 2 of them, and maybe you want to play one of them.
And they're not even doing PS3 or PS Vita games.
Right.
Like, there's no way of playing the PS3 games you would get unless you own a PS3.
Except for the fantastic PlayStation Now, which is not good. Mm-hmm. So I think, to me, sure, Sony could do it, but I feel like the value you get is lesser just because they don't have a Game Pass equivalent.
Yeah. And I might be wrong here, so listeners, feel free. In this case, you can at me and let me know if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that the PlayStation brand is still the only real profitable division of Sony Entertainment as a whole. Like,
yeah, because TVs haven't been doing well, their laptops haven't been doing well. Sony Pictures probably makes money, but that's such a separate division.
Yeah, and like, the PlayStation has always kind of picked up the slack from all of these other things, where you look at the other side of the coin and the parent company to the Xbox of Microsoft. Mm-hmm. They're doing fine. They are still the number one in, what's it called? Begins with an E? Enterprise.
Yes, their servers division has consistently made them money for like the last 25 years.
You know, they'll be fine. They're still doing fine on operating systems. They're changing to this stupid subscription model for their software services as well. Yeah. So Microsoft are doing fine without the Xbox.
Yeah.
So Xbox can afford to take hits. Clearly, in the fact that the X is $500 and not like $800
right.
tells you that they can take hits when it comes to pricing.
And they could try stuff like Game Pass. Like Joe J in YouTube chat says, Sony wants people to buy their exclusives brand new. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, like Moon, you're saying, they want that. They're I don't think they're selling the Pro at a loss, but I think they might be cutting even. Microsoft is clearly...
pretty sure Microsoft has made a loss.
Yeah, Microsoft is clearly taking a loss on each one. But yeah, I feel like Sony doesn't have that. Sony doesn't have the push to make Game Pass right now, because I think they're still... In console sales, I think they're still in first place, but Microsoft is getting closer and closer and closer every month. And year over year, they're making huge leaps and bounds. Partially because the X is an incredibly powerful console that puts out really good 4K imagery.
Yep.
So,
and on top of that, then you also get Sony doing the PlayStation 3 launch thing of, we're the best, let's get the ego back.
Yep. Yeah.
So.
He says, the next question here is, my second question is, do you ever see Xbox pairing in a 4K TV for, say, $50 a month?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I almost feel like I would like to see that partnership maybe extended to, like, Best Buy. Like, you can pick out a 4K TV maybe in this price range, or, like, these 3 TVs, and then you get that and the subsidy plan for, he says $50 a month. Maybe you buy a Vizio 4K TV and, it costs you $50-$60 a month. I feel like that would be great, but Microsoft doesn't make their own TVs, so from their end, that bundle would be hard.
I think if they're going to do this, they need to do it with a company that's hungry. They need to do it with a the issue they're going to run into. So let's say theoretically they decide to do this. They're not going to do it with Sony, period. And end of discussion. Sony wouldn't allow that, number one, but I don't think Microsoft would want to anyway.
Right.
So they're going to have to do it with store operators, like you said.
Yep.
Best Buy, here's 3 brands of TV, pick which one you want. This is the price per month.
Yeah.
I think if they're going to do it, they should do it direct with a manufacturer of TVs.
Yeah.
But to do that, they need a name. They need a name that people recognize and a name that people trust. So they're going to need like
a Vizio.
Yeah, they're going to need a Vizio. They're going to need a recognizable name. I think they should do it with TCL.
Oh, God, 100%.
Countries that are super hungry to get their stuff out there.
And they make such good stuff.
And TCL, they're not a name. They're not a name that anybody knows right now, or a name that anybody really trusts. But look at what happened to Acer and Asus 2, 4, 5 years ago.
That's true.
They were laughing stocks of the production industry, and nowadays they are way up there with top quality products because they fought their way up there.
TCL is a great example because they're making better TVs than Samsung and Vizio and Sony for literally a third of the price.
Yep, their products don't look like, their finishing isn't as good as... They don't have, a name brand fashion
not
design.
Not like a bezel-free TV.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a TV, though, and the end product that they are putting out is way better than even price-equivalent things from any other company. Their top-of-the-line 4K TVs are so much cheaper than even the base model from other people.
Yeah, I'm always drooling over that TCL TV, and I'm just like, I want one so bad. But I think, for me, from a business standpoint, from Microsoft, I think the only thing, if I was Mr. Microsoft, I think the only thing that would give me pause from doing a plan that includes a TV is you run the risk of public perception saying, this is the only TV that Microsoft approves for the Xbox. And I think... from other TV manufacturers and places like Best Buy and a lot of these places, I think that's a big negative for them, and I think that could potentially... You don't want Microsoft to get into a red ring situation again with TVs that they don't even make. Like that to me is if I was Mr. Microsoft, that's like a nightmare scenario of like, cool, all of these TVs are bad, people are still paying for them for 18 months, and I can't do a thing about it.
Yeah.
So it'd be a great experience, but I think the number of hurdles would be pretty rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be cool, though. I'd like it. Maximus Prime in Discord asks, what's your most anticipated fall release this year, and why do you think it beats out all the other big titles trying to capitalize on the holiday sales rush?
I'll be honest, I was thinking Spider-Man. Thinking Spider-Man because... It's been a long time since I played a Spider-Man game.
And that's Sony's game of the holiday this year.
Yep. But every time I see anything to do with Horizon 4, I'm all about that game.
That's my pick, because it's been so long since I played 3, and I look at 4 and it's like, yeah, I can play that, and Moon, you and I can play that. And that sounds real good.
Yeah. I'm really excited about Spider-Man, but I think at the end of the day, I've already played what I think is probably going to be this year's best character action game.
Right.
I think I've probably already played that.
Yeah.
and this is a chance. The seasons change every 4 weeks or whatever it is. Like, what?
It's so cool.
This is a game that's going to reinvent itself or refresh itself every 4 weeks.
It has weekly challenges and has all the cool social stuff you really want. And the thing that will probably get you and I is it's probably bigger than 3 and has way more races. And just seeing those icons just plump, 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 plump on this map is always really good.
Yep.
I have a hard time thinking of another game this year that's coming out this holiday season, because we're not really interested in the marquee multi-platform titles like the first-person shooters, that stuff.
I will probably pick up Battlefield 5, and I will probably love Battlefield 5.
Yeah.
I don't play first-person shooters to the section I used to because I don't have the time or the ability to stay up late anymore,
right,
or the people to play it with. So for me, it becomes a case of I'll pick it up. I'll probably love the campaign. I love the campaign on Battlefield 1.
That's about as far as it'll go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I'm uncontrollably excited about Destiny 2 Forsaken, but that's not really a full release, so I kind of don't count it. But every time I'm in the phase right now with Forza Horizon 4 where I'm purposely forgetting that it's coming out, and every time I see it like on the Xbox dashboard, I go, oh god, yeah, that's right. Oh, I'm so excited.
I literally clicked it today and watched that intro trailer they showed at E3 again.
Oh.
It's so good.
Yeah, and I think for me over on the PS4 side, Spider-Man is obviously the big one. Yakuza Kiwami 2 is going to be big for me. But to me, I think, as someone who's a fan of Insomniac, I think we know that Spider-Man is going to be good. Like, I think you can watch one gameplay trailer of that and say, like, oh, okay, that's going to be a good game. It'll look great. It'll have a giant open world. Like, it's going to check all these checkboxes.
How good is it going to be is the big question.
Right, and, like, I'm not chomping at the bit for it. I don't even know why. Because I like Spider-Man. I'm not a huge comic book guy, but, like, I like Spider-Man. I love Insomniac's games. Like, I will always play a new Ratchet & Clank. But I sort of look at Forza Horizon 4, and to me that's also a known quantity. I know that game is going to be good, because they haven't put out a bad Forza Horizon title yet. Even 2 was fine.
2 on the original consoles was a bit rough.
That was rough, yeah. That was very much a game that was too big for where they put it.
Yeah.
But 1 and 3 were so good, and, like, the idea that they're just making more of those and continuing to expand it it's irresistible, and it's on Game Pass. So
yeah,
I don't have to pay for it. I paid $2 for Forza Horizon 4. That's awesome.
Not to mention Warhammer Vermintide 2.
I know,
and all of the other games.
If you don't follow me on Twitter, I sent Moon and T-Bomb Rocks a picture of me downloading Vermintide. I was like, well, I have Game Pass, so I guess I have to download the Rat game too. So
yeah, you should totally send a message our way.
Yeah, I just need to.
Wink, wink.
It's finally all the way downloaded. I need a new controller because that one I have is dropping randomly, which is counterintuitive to games.
Yes.
So once I get that, I think Monday, maybe we'll see if we can get some Rat game 2 in.
Yeah,
because it sounds so good, man. That's all of the questions we have this week, though, which means that's our episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. All the places you can find and follow us on the right-hand side of the page, including Discord. That server is always hopping, always welcoming. Come find us. Patreon, patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are numbers. Brand new episode of Old Dog New Flicks. A couple days, Dynamic Soundtrack comes out. Game Club is Ori and the Blind Forest. Find us on Twitch, YouTube, all those places.
Something we don't say enough.
Oh.
If you like what we do, tell a friend.
Yeah.
Tell 2 friends. Literally just 2 people.
Leave us
just
a review
on
iTunes. That helps a ton for discovery. Yeah, absolutely. We'll see you all next week.
before we get into the titles, should I see if I can get a good trill from Louise?
Yeah, let's try it out.
It was a good trill. I don't think it was an audible enough trill.
Well, we'll see it when I master the episode. All right, hit me with your titles.
Kind of mood. I already started, by the way. We're cooking machines. Now I can climb that tower.
That was I feel like that's my most recent Phoenix Down moment. It's like, oh, now I can climb that. And to me, like, as soon as I heard that, I'm like, I have to go and do that. Like, can we postpone for like 30 minutes so I can just go do that? No, we can't. I gotta control myself.
Traps and Tools kind of man. Which I think that might be my pick. I despise that level. Titans for life. Like me, 2 controllers. A Windows boy.
Yeah.
Fully savor the insect experience. And if I was Mr. Microsoft,
I have some of those titles, but different. I have it's $5. You talked about with Ori, and I like that you were like, it's $5. They really upped themselves. I don't even know.
Oh, that's both a terrible pun. That's talking about the beginning of Ori.
Oh, right. They upped themselves. Yeah, that one's fine. We're cooking machines, Windows Boy, the insect experience, just so dumb, Mr. Microsoft, and Traps and Tools kind of man, which I
think it's got to be Traps and
vote
Tools.
for that too. Traps and Tools by itself is a really good title, but Traps and Tools kind of man is an outstanding title.
Yeah, which thank you very much, Jimbo, for
yes.
shouting out as well in chat. Also, you asked about the Nighthawk, Jimbo. It's faster than the previous router we had. Our speeds are better. The internet is still not stable. Thank you, Squiggles. If you're a patron, you'll get it in the Outcast episode.
Yeah, but that's not. Thankfully, that's not the Nighthawk's fault. That's your ISP's fault.
Yes, and our neighborhood's fault.
My brother recently bought a Nighthawk, and he has the same experience too. Where it's just like, it works lightning fast.
Everything
and it's
got
awesome.
better. Mm-hmm.
So that'll be the next one I buy.
Well, to give you an idea, my wife and I streamed together at the same time, playing online with each other at the same time.
Yeah, like at 1080p.
At 1080p. I'm playing in 4K. She's playing in 1080p, and not a hiccup, not a nothing, not a skip.
Nice.
That's going both up and down to me and her at the same time, playing at the same console on the same router.
Right.
And at the same time, I was watching the stream to make sure it was running okay.
So yes, go buy the Nighthawk.
It's pretty good.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 566 for August 27th, 2018. Traps and Tools kind of man.
No reds, all purples and greens.
That's right, purple for life. All right, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Hi, folks. Louise, say bye-bye.
Chirp. All right, we can stop recording.